this is bad.
Yep.
Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't sit. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please. Please.
Am I making you nervous?
Yes. Please don't do this. Oh my God. So before we even get started here, I'm just gonna bring up a few quick points that I want us both to be cognizant of. This is a conversation. This is not a lecture. Let's talk back and forth. I can be wrong. Don't be afraid to challenge me on things, because even if even if like you're wrong or I'm wrong or whatever, it's still a good thought exercise and we still learn something from that.
I will probably ask tons of questions because I want to make sure I know what I don't want to have any doubt about what I'm supposed to do.
That's perfectly fine. Another couple things. I'm never going to ask you a trick question. If the question seems stupid, if it seems like I'm like really oversimple, answer however you feel the right answer actually is. I'm not trying to trick you and be like, oh, well, actually, it's this. I want to know your thought process. Right. I want to know how you think. I want to know how you work. Okay. I got a fair few things to get through here. Some things that I'll be bringing up, you already do subconsciously just because of how, you know, the level you're at in the game and how you work. But talking about these things lets you improve your subconscious thoughts and turn them into something tangible, as well as make sure 100% that your unconscious thought is correct in the first place. So the way you play certain angles, the way you peek characters, the you know, what you do with your abilities, some of those things are unconscious. Let's make them conscious and really dig into those.
Okay.
Also, this is my most important thing that I'll tell you right now. Improvement means sometimes it's gonna get worse before it gets better. You might have to slow stuff down in order to relearn how to do something. You might throw a lamp too slow, take too long to aim, be late on a rotation. Sometimes that might lose you fights or games, but that's okay as long as you're learning something from that. Stop.
Yeah, Jane kind of did the same thing.
Yeah, sir, continue. So it's just, in my idea, it's stop, slow down, and take that time in the moment to figure out how to do something correctly, and then do it. Right now, this is going to sound rude, but I would describe you as bad quickly. Let's take that time to make that slow and bad, and then eventually, as you learn, you'll become slow and good, and then you'll be able to speed that up and become fast and good.
Okay.
Cool?
Yep.
Cool. Also, last little thing, we're not going to go over every single tiny detail because this is our first session together. I want to introduce some big concepts to you, and then we're going to be poking at those as we go. And then in the future, I'll be able to call back to these concepts so that it'll be faster, and then we'll be able to nitpick and say, oh, you took 3 steps too far forward here, and that killed you, that kind of thing. So it's going to be a lot of big conceptual thoughts, and this is going to be laying the groundwork for all the work that I want to do with you going forward. I like to work in concepts. I like to work in theory a lot. So if things are kind of weird or kind of up in the air, just tell me and I can explain that further. Cool?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's get into this. So your team hasn't picked yet, but once they all pick, we'll talk about this. Okay. So this is essentially your team comp. I think this guy goes back to Ash or something. At the beginning of every game, this is something that you do subconsciously, but that we should think about. You have to ask yourself a question and then a follow-up question later, which will be, what is your job in this team comp right now? What are you supposed to do? What are you using your abilities for? Might be super simple.
Nope, sorry. Oh, so I was just writing that down. Yeah, so you're asking me now?
Yeah, what's your job? What are you doing in this team comp? What are you using your abilities for?
I mean, I've been pretty much locking Baptiste to try to learn him. So, I mean, I'd be mostly responsible for keeping Sigma alive.
Yep, you're keeping your front line alive because, you know, you have that mercy to keep up some of your DPS and your Winston is going to get healed. Cool. Super simple. That's it. It might get more complicated in the future, but that's it. Bam.
Okay.
You're keeping your front line alive in this comp, and then you'll put out damage whenever you can because that's how BAP works. Yeah. So that is like because there are going to be situations where it's more complicated and your team comp is incredibly wonky and you need to do those kinds of things. And asking that question is just a good reminder of things you should be watching out for, because sometimes people get off, on the wrong track. And then when we get out of the gate, you have a follow-up question, which these are two very important things, which there's a set of 2 questions I like to have everyone ask themselves. But this is part of the first set. You're just rolling out here, you're doing your thing. Paying attention to your front line, that's good. Okay. We're 15 seconds in. What does that mean?
It means I know their team comp.
It means you know their team comp. Perfect. Okay. Here's the follow-up question to what is, you have the question of what is my job in this comp, right? Here's your follow-up question is, what am I trying to do to the enemy team?
There, 1 second.
Take your time.
No, I'm writing these questions down so I can remember them later.
Could be super simple, could be more complicated, depending.
Well, for this to the enemy team, I'm trying to pay attention to where Doomfist is coming from, and try to be cognizant of where he might be coming from and respond to him accordingly, because I would be the most vulnerable to him right now. Okay.
Go.
I mean, to the enemy team, it's I guess pressure them while I'm trying to heal my front line.
Yeah, sometimes it's pretty simple, just like that. And when you're on characters like Ana or something like that, it'll be like, oh, I need to bait out Diva Matrix and go for an aggressive nade, those kinds of things. But right now, you're on BAP. Shoot, heal, lamp when you got a lamp, right? That was a really good point to bring up with the Doomfist. That is, how I said there are 2 sets of questions. That's part of the second set of questions, which we'll get to in a second. But actually, no, I should bring that up right now. So you have your first set of questions, which is what's your job and what am I going to be doing to the enemy team? That's the first set. The second question, and this is the most important thing. I think I've already said that, but that's not the point. Your value on support is 1-to-1 or exponentially tied to how long you live. Because the longer you're alive, you're keeping your team alive, you're pumping out damage, and you are if the enemy team has to burn resources to kill you, the longer you stay alive, the more of those resources they're burning. So it's just 1-to-1. The longer you're alive, the more you are doing. And I know that sounds really simple and asinine. Just don't die forehead, but on a support, it's the most important thing, right? On DPS, it's like, if I'm a Doomfist and I go in and I kill one and I die, whatever, who cares? We got it. But on a support, this is the most important thing. So this is the second set of questions of what is going to kill me and how is it going to do that? So against this enemy team,
Doomfist is with his big fist.
All right, that's one of the things that's going to kill you. But there's always more.
Boosted headshots if I peek. Me taking damage, not healing myself, and walking into a fire strike.
I'd say that realistically, it's the Doomfist and the Ashe that are going to kill you, because you're on BAP. You don't have to play close enough to really be worried about those Rhine swings or that fire strike. You can give some distance.
I'm just telling you what just kills me because I don't.
Yeah, of course. Cognizant paying attention is something that just it comes with practice and time. So now that damage boosted Ashe, Doomfist, those are the 2 things that are going to kill you right now. Just against that team comp. So I'm going to ask you a question. Another question of, wait, no, it wasn't this. You do it later. Never mind. You're fine now. But sorry, there was a moment you peak later, which I was going to bring up, but that's actually later.
Okay.
But so you got those 2 sets of questions down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, we could stop right here. We could stop right here, right now. And if you just implemented those 2 things in every single game you played, you're a god gamer. but it is a little more complicated than that. So we're going to be breaking things down and going through stuff, and we will be breaking a few things down fight by fight. But literally, theoretically, we could stop right now, and I don't think we should, not in the slightest. I think that there's a lot that you'll learn from specifics. I have a bunch of stuff at the bottom, but so this fight is just kind of like, this is going to sound really stupid, but like, this isn't really your fault. I think maybe you could have healed your front line a little bit more, but like, it's not something you should really worry about. This fight is just like, sometimes shit just happens, man.
Kind of got mad at Mercy resing me there.
Yeah, because you're so close to spawn room.
Yeah.
Is this? Oh, okay, cool. This is if this is what I remember it to be. No, it's next fight. It's next fight. Let's say you're just poking, trying to charge up your ult, do your thing. Your Baptiste ult comes up so quickly every time that you just can throw it out there. And you actually do a pretty good job of using it on cooldown. I think this first time you wait a little long to do it, but otherwise you just kind of eat that bad boy out there, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
Never mind. I think that's later. But you check up there. You didn't really see anybody because you can't see through walls. And right now, I'm not going to be judging you on, the important things. But I'm going to say there's a good chance that you should be dead right now. That Doomfist should have jumped you from this top left area, from that window, and probably killed you.
Okay.
He didn't, but this is another thing that'll come up. And I know, like, it's these small mistakes, but Jane said it really well. Play for the rank you want, not the rank you are. In higher level lobbies, that wouldn't fly. Even, like, this feels a little too close to me, and I know that's really nitpicky, but, like, you'll understand what I mean as we go. This guy just overextends. You can't heal him up. It's fine. That Doomfist, he should have gone for you, and you should be dead. Is this it? No, this isn't it quite yet. Oh yeah, this. So there's a moment coming up where once you jump up, you're dead here, right? You die in this situation. And I think that pretty much no matter what, because of the fact that you chose to jump up here, you're dead. Regardless of that, let's just thought exercise. How do you think you could have lived here? You know that there's a Doomfist that dives you from the left, and we find this out in a couple of seconds. But just your 99% chance you're dead here. What do you think maybe the 1% that you get out is? What's your plan here? Let's watch it through, and then let's go through that.
Okay.
So she bobs, you're chilling, you lamp, Doom comes in, you have to drop. That's just a shitty situation to be in.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, chances are you're dead no matter what. But how maybe could you have lived?
Lamped and used my ultimate.
Where should you have thrown the lamp?
Go back. Yeah. Play it again. Well, I guess is there a little cubby right there?
Where's there?
Go back like 2 right. I guess not. Yeah.
Not really.
So pop my ultimate and double tapped her before she killed me, and then try to kill a Mercy too.
That's the God Gamer play.
Right. That's the 1%.
If
right. Or unless you
maybe,
think about something else.
I also think let's go first person you again. That's a bad lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think you could have walked to and maybe thrown this lamp that you would have been okay?
Over there to the right.
Over to the right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a pretty long distance to walk, buddy.
And there's a Doomfist.
And there's a Doomfist right here. That's kind of scary.
Up forward on the other side, right there. Yeah.
Over here? Yeah. Honestly, I think that because you were already kind of over here and then you backtracked a little bit. I think that if you were to throw the lamp like here, you maybe could have kept going. Like I said, 99% chance, even if you do that, probably still dead. But in the chance that this doesn't kill you, you can call for help and you can, keep forcing resources and waste the enemy team's time and maybe get a kill or two.
Okay.
I think that sorry, continue.
But the main point is don't put yourself in this situation.
Yes. Bam. I didn't even have to say it. The main point was, don't be here in the first place. This is not a good place to be. And the fact that you would have to take that 1% chance, the fact that you would have to pull a Luke Mino and fucking square and kill both of those guys to have a chance of living here. If you I'm in the opinion that if you have to make a clutch play in order to win the game, you're probably not doing so hot in the first place.
Yeah, and does this go back to the previous question of what is going to kill me from the other team?
Yep. This Ashe coming out of spawn, and something that I like to think about specifically in terms of Doomfist and Reaper, these are the two biggest, of if you can't see the Doomfist, he's up to no good.
Right.
If you don't know where he is, he's sneaking off in the bushes somewhere, and he's going to jump your backline.
Oh, that's the worst on Eichenwald first point.
Yup.
he's surfing rooftops. It's like, where is he? I hear him. Where is he? And then boom, you're dead.
Anytime I see 5 members of the enemy's team in like the first 10 seconds and then I don't see the next one, I'm like, if I wait the next 5 seconds to see they have a Doomfist, I'm already dead. And then I just like hide in a building or something. But yeah, if you can't see the Doomfist, he's up to no good. You couldn't see the Doomfist here, and the Doom wasn't even what killed you, but still, good to pay attention to, and don't put yourself in these positions in the first place. I think that I'm trying to front load a lot of the information so that I'll be able to call back to it later. But you have a pretty big habit of playing what we call a pogo stick BAP, where you just kind of jump up and down and go for pot shots. If this was Nene, if this was Sabiel B, you'd be dead on cooldown. And like, you're not playing against Overwatch League players, so you're not dead on cooldown, but play for the rank you want, not the rank you have. And I'm not saying you want to you get the point I'm trying to say. You should be dead.
Yeah.
And you do get punished for this a few times. But most of the time here you don't. So yeah, the whole point of that is just try not to be in this situation in the first place. She's out. She's out.
I don't. Yeah.
There's another time where she reses you and you like fucking die immediately, and I'm just like, that was rude of her.
Yeah, I think they were. Was this the one that I looked at I think I looked at their profile and they didn't play much competitive, and yeah, so it's okay. It's all right.
We're gonna go back.
I mean, I think every time she res me, it's like, what? No.
Yeah, I've had some moments like that. You can't see the Doomfist. He's up to no good. He's doing something bad. He's in your backline. You should be dead.
Yeah.
He chose to punch your Reinhardt. You do. You killed him. That was good. But he chose to punch your Reinhardt like an idiot. He made a move that an idiot would make. If he was, and most Doom players are idiots, so, take that as you will. But if he had 7 more brain cells, you were done, buddy. You're a splattered mess on the wall.
Well, while we're on the subject of Doomfist,
go for it.
Is there... I am trying to learn BAP a lot, and so I don't switch. Is there is there better support to play in this situation with our comp than BAP against a Doomfist that likes to do that?
Probably Ana. Partially because you have a Genji on your team and Nanoblade is good, and bad players don't know how to, play the game without Nanoblade. But also I think now that we're putting this idea in your head of, be careful of what's going to kill you. If you can't see what's going to kill you, it's probably going to try to do it pretty soon, that kind of thing. I think Ana would be really good here because realistically, when you're standing like right here, and let's say the Doom was still alive, realistically, where are you going to get jumped from?
The window.
Yeah, right there. And so
you can window, or he's already behind you and jumpy from where he was last time.
Yeah, and if he's already behind you, you got to hit that sick, 180 sleep dart, which, whatever. But realistically, there's really 1 or 2 places he can jump you from. And if you watch one of them, you watch this window up here, and you have your sleep dart at the ready as your team is rotating, you like flick a heal, and then you check the location, you'll probably be ready to sleep that.
Okay.
That being said, I've worked with a lot of people who, are really just like, I only play 1 hero, and honestly, you play 2, so you're already ahead of the curve. But I work with a lot of people who are like, I only play 1 hero, and I'm like, fine, how are we going to fit the square peg in a round hole? And honestly, BAP's not even the worst choice here, so I'd say realistically, like if you think you're gonna get dove from up there, maybe like come out of this window, like check that area, and just be cognizant of the locations where, because the thing that kills you most about Doomfist, you can hear him charging up a punch, right? But you can't really hear him slamming until it's too late. So think about where you can get slammed from. And then just like try to play around that. Because if he's going to slam you from up there, like go around here. And then this is the kind of thing where it's like, I'm giving you this example on one map, and then this is the kind of thing that you should try to think about as we go, like on different maps. But yeah. Does that make sense, or do you want me to?
No, that makes complete sense.
Cool. Then we're going to keep going. I'm front loading a lot of information so we can call back to it later. Sorry about that. Ash can kill you there. That's scary. Here's a nitpick. If this lamp were like 2 feet to the left, I think it'd be a way better lamp. Good square. Thought exercise. What could you have done to live here?
Charge up exo boots.
Bam! That's the answer. Charge. If you know they have shatter, this is one of those really weird edge cases where it's like this one specific thing, right? If you know they have shatter, if your team is alt tracking, or if you're personally alt tracking, or if you're thinking like, oh, they probably have a shatter, just keep them charged. Just be ready, because most of the time your Rhine is going to be bad and not block the shatter.
Most of the time, yes, you're right there.
Like most of the time, your Rhine's going to be a bad player. But if you think about it and you're ready for it, then you can save your team with that one. Not even going to keep talking about that. You already got it.
And this was a good res. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So this is the first time I see you do this. And this time I'm like, damn, he's brave. He jumps into that to make sure his team gets his shift. You don't die here because you're like up like 17,000 people. But this is the first thing that ticked me off to a bad habit you have. And you're gonna figure out that bad habit as we go. Ow. Also, I think this is still nitpicking. Bap, you have the unique ability on supports to take high ground. I think that after you like did that shit in mid, just like hop up here and just chill. You know, you have the unique ability to hold high grounds. And I know that you win this fight like immediately, but you have that unique ability to just like not be in a position that can be pushed. And you do it on second point actually, where you like play above the center column when they don't have a hit scan, and that was pretty good. Just try to be thinking about that more.
Okay.
This is just like your team running into a wall for a little while.
That's pretty much what 2CP is at this level.
Yeah.
It's yeah, you bang your head until maybe it breaks. And then run up the other end.
Oh wait, sorry. We're gonna go back. Do you know what I'm about to tell you?
Where's Doomfist?
No. You should just already be dead.
Oh, because I'm peeking the damage boosted Ash.
This is one of those tiny mistakes where you were a foot behind your team and you weren't in the shield. You should be dead. You didn't get punished for it because this is, not a fucking 4,500 game. This isn't, you're not against Nene. You're not against Abilby. But you should be dead. Get tighter on rotations. That's all I really got for that one. There's just a fair few examples of things like this where it's like, oh, I think that somebody could get punished for these things, and I'm just going to keep pointing them out as we go because they're important. Do you know what I'm going to say to you there?
That should already be dead.
You should already be dead.
Yeah.
If your team is making this rotation and your Kree's being an idiot, can play in this hallway, You can poke some shots at him, and you can stay with your team in this staircase. There's no reason for you to peek both of these, or for you to peek this, and the Doomfist was up there. But there's no, you don't have to peek that. There's like no real reason.
No, we're split.
Yeah, your Rhine crosses this huge sightline. You hear this Doom charging up a punch.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't go. And then he goes a little later. This is just a really weird situation, which honestly, it's like... It's not even that like, oh, there's so much stuff wrong here with you and your team that I can't even begin to unpack it, but it's a little bit like, everyone's just in a really weird place right now. Like your Ryan is like, I'm gonna go push this Ashe, and you're like, oh, I should probably try to go be with my Ryan. And then there's this whole other group of people on the enemy team who are playing that other high ground and shooting at you, and that like this is just a really weird situation. It's not even like oh, how could you have lived here? Like what's the 1%? I think you're just fucking dead. And for some reason, you live.
Platinum, man.
Yeah, I think you should be dead.
Oh, yeah.
And then you guys get like 2 ticks here, right? Yeah, you guys get like 2 ticks. Took you a second, but you noticed that there was somebody else there who you could have shot, and then you shot her. All right. This is another example. Your Kree's going in. And you're like, all right, buddy, I'll keep you up. This was the first lamp that I'm going to describe as really bad and not just kind of bad. If he's going to meteor strike on you, if you're ready for it, you'll have time to have the reaction to it. And I think you taking so much time to go push with your Kree, your Rhine died because of it, and your Mercy was dead regardless because she just got punched, but you could have kept your Rhine alive in this fight and maybe won it. You got to keep your head on a swivel when you're playing support, not just for what the enemy team is going to do to you, but also because of the weird places your team is going to be playing in. And I think that you got a little too tunnel focused on trying to heal up your McCree, and that lost you guys this fight. It's not, I think you were the reason your team lost this fight. It's more so just the situation devolved to a point where you could have made a good play in order to win it, and you weren't in a situation to do so. But this is just like, you got to keep your head on a swivel. You got to be ready. We'll talk about the mental projection in another session. That's a really complicated concept. That's a really fucking complicated concept that we'll bring up another time.
Okay.
It's just like, I've already given you so many things that I want to be talking about, where I feel like if I try to bring up a whole other thing, that's like, it's too much to talk about right now. I think there's a lot still here that we can be looking at, which is good. You can say it.
I should be dead.
You should be dead. And in these situations, it's not just like, oh, just don't peek her. It's like, hey, say to your team, like, hey, there's an Ashe top left. Can you guys just like poke at her so I can cross? Or like, hey, Ryan, can you wait 2 seconds before I get there? That kind of thing. It's really small stuff.
That's usually easier said than done.
I know, you know, like Diamond Plat Comp is a really weird place. I've been there, man. It's a weird place.
That would involve, 1, them being in team chat, 2, actually understanding what I meant,
Yeah.
3, actually choosing to listen to me.
Yeah, I get that. And it's a shitty situation.
Yeah, that is the right play.
It's just, hey guys, and you know what? If they don't, then it's no longer your fault. But if you don't even ask in the first place, then it's your fault. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So that you know,
if you make the effort and it doesn't happen, then that's not your fault.
Right. But yeah, I'm just getting tired of. Yeah, that's fine.
I understand, dude. I get it. It's hard to keep that fucking mental fortitude and like keep trying to do your best when games get shitty. And like when I say your best, I mean like even these small things like asking for a little bit of peel or like for someone to poke out a high ground is fucking hard. And I'm not expecting this from like, you know, I'm not expecting every single, you know, VOD to be like, oh, I played perfectly this game. Let's look at like No, it's not even close. It shit sucks, dude. I played comp, man. There's a reason I haven't played the game in a month. Like, I'm chilling. But sorry, that was completely beside the point. You should be dead. You can call for your teammate to help you.
She's still up there.
Yeah, she's still up there. That's brave. And I don't think you die. Yeah, you live here, but oh yeah, and then she reses you. Is this where you die instantly after being resed? No, maybe that's on defense. This is one of those things again where it's like, this is just such a weird situation that, like, I don't even know, man. Hey, that was a late lamp. But you know what? It was a good lamp. If that lamp was faster, it would have been a great lamp. That was a lamp that was slow and good. Which is good. That's good. Good shit. One day it'll be fast and good, but right now, slow and good, and that's good. This is actually no, I'll talk about that on defense. You do a really good job on defense. We're just going to keep watching this for now. This is a really quick question. What's your sensitivity?
Just so gosh. It's 800 by... I can look it up, hang on.
Yeah, cool. That's not like oh, you need to change it. I just want to know because everybody has different aiming styles based on their sensitivity, so. Because as I'm watching this, I have a couple of thoughts about your aim and like how I think it is the way it is, just based on your style, and I want to know if that's like correct or incorrect based off of your sensitivity.
Controls 12.
12.
800 by 12.
That's very high.
Okay.
And I'm only saying that because it looks like here, and for a lot of this map, but specifically here is the biggest example. When you're aiming, sorry, okay. What's up?
I pulled Overwatch back.
That's fine.
So I could see.
It feels like you're pretty stressed when you're aiming. Like I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, but it feels like your hand and your wrist are pretty tense.
Yeah.
That's something that comes with playing at a high sensitivity sometimes, just because it's intrinsically like more difficult to control. And there's nothing wrong with playing at a high sense. I played at like 6.8 for a while, 800, which is still really, really high. But I think you could do with lowering it a little bit, just because there are a fair few moments where the best way to describe this is that it feels like you're afraid to miss, so you don't even go for it. Well, where you'll like your Mercy there was pretty lit, and you actually started to flick over to her to heal her, but you were like, I should probably just shoot this Doomfist anyways, because it didn't. Obviously, I'm not in your shoes, but it felt like you weren't really confident enough to do both at once, to juggle those things.
Maybe that sounds like me. I don't remember the specific situation.
That's fine. You actually do a really good job of it on first point defense that we'll get to in a little bit, and I want to point out how you do it well there so you can try to replicate it later. Okay. But I would just recommend turning your sense down little by little. I'd say you're at 12, go to 10, then go to 8, then go to 7, then go to 6, and just see how you're feeling. Most pro players are in a range from 3.5 on the low end to like 6 on the higher end. And you do see some outliers, like Jonak plays at fucking like Jonak is as ripped as he is because he plays on such a low senseness to drag his fucking mouse 3 miles to move a pixel. Like, and Pine plays on like crackhead sensitivity. Like, those are the outliers, but I think you could do with lowering it a little bit because it'll help you become more comfortable. And another thing about high sense versus low sense, on when your aim is on, like really good on high sense, your aim is fucking on. That's just how it is. When you're cracked, you're cracked. But when you're bad, you're really bad. Because those tiny mistakes of sensitivity fuck you up even more. If you're on a lower sense, you kind of even it out and you get a little more consistency there. And I think consistency is one of the keys to being a really good player. I didn't even write this down, actually. This was just kind of an aside. But
okay. I'd
recommend lowering your sense a little by little just to be more comfortable. You can see the Doomfist, he was up to no good and you died.
Yep.
I'm not judging you on that because we just talked about this right now. But if I see you fuck that up in the future, I'll be mildly annoyed. Not annoyed. I'll more so be like, oh, come on, man, you're better than this.
And then you ignore the Lucio stuff. This is just me trying to do something different.
Yeah.
I just like die.
Honestly, it's like, I get it. I did write in my notes that if you were going to swap anything, I would probably say go Ana, just because of the reasons I mentioned earlier, the sleep dart, and you have like the parade heals for your front line. But like, you're running. Honestly, you've done nothing wrong here because you're running a Rein Zarya with a Mercy comp. And those characters just don't really work great together. And the enemy team is doing that as well, but it's worse for you since you're on attack. Because Rein Zarya kind of needs that Lucio to be enabled to push through choke points and everything. But because of the fact that you're on a Mercy, Lucio Mercy isn't very good. Like, honestly, you're fine. And I wouldn't say give up in your comp games when you have a Mercy and a Rein Zarya, not even close. It's just like, it's just a little suboptimal.
I know. No, my thought process here was switch to Lucio, try to mix it up, try to do something different. And sometimes when I do that and just have the speed on, my team plays a lot better. And then, you know, okay, yeah, that was my team. That was my thought process.
Cool. That's good to know. I'm gonna say that's a fine thought process. Let's take it one step further. And you don't need to do this right now, but in the future, when you're making those kinds of swaps and you think I want to do something different, what's that thing you're trying to do that's different? Like, what are you? Sure, you need to change it, but what is the hero you're swapping to going to do that the hero you're on right now isn't really able to do? So in here, it's like you swap Lucio, you get that speed boost, maybe you're able to reposition your tank line better, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, that was exactly.
But I think just like keep trying to have that thought process and say, all right, well, if I keep running back to Ana just because it's a good example. But if I go Ana here, maybe next time the Doom tries to push me, we'll be able to get a pick on him instead, and it'll be a 5v6 in the other direction, that kind of thing, you know?
Right. I do think of that a lot, like when the other team has a hog and we don't have an Ana. I'm like, I should switch Ana.
That's good. And a lot of the things I'm trying to teach you that aren't Baptiste specific are applicable to a lot of things. They're not just for one or two heroes. So when we do talk about things that are specific to Baptiste, but most of the things I'm trying to teach you are things that you should know on every hero. The questions of what's my job in this comp and what am I trying to do to the enemy applies on every hero. The questions of what's going to kill me and how's it going to do it, that applies on every support. Like these are, I don't want to say fundamentals because I think that's a very overused term, but these are kind of the groundwork for how to, really dive into the specifics.
Okay.
We're just going to let this play out for the rest of the round because it's whatever. Like, you don't really pay attention to where the Ashe is because you guys are just pushing on the point. Like, that's whatever. The Doom gets nanoed. Quick word of advice on Lucio. That's the same thing about Baptiste, as we're just going to do really quickly. The second you hear him get nanoed, go to a place where you're not going to get punched if he's on ground level. So even just like hopping up here, that's fine. Because he's down here. If he tries to punch you, you're just above ground level. Nothing super big, just like little tiny short hop. Yeah, and you guys almost cap here.
Yeah, I thought we were going to cap.
I think you maybe could have. But realistically, nah. Like, this is it. No, wait, you get out here, and that's fucking crazy to me. But there's definitely a couple moments where she reses you, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Yeah, see, it feels like that's just another thing on your aim. Like, your aim should be, like, it feels like you're like whoo 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 whoo. Instead, you should be like whoo. If I try and do a 90-degree turn in my car when I'm on the freeway, that's not going to turn out so well. But if I take like a 10-degree turn into a 20-degree turn into a 30-degree turn into a 40-degree turn into a 45-degree turn, that's going to work out way better for me because it's just, it's not whoo whoo whoo, it's whoo. That sounded really fucking stupid, but I hope it made sense.
Yeah, it does.
And obviously, you see
Leading
people going for
touch?
flicks, and
Oh.
flicks are important and cool and everything. And like, in order to like, you know, hit some shots, you do have to go for flicks. But not every shot you should go for should be that crazy flick. Like, there should be a level of relative aim and calm to your calm and chill to the way you aim. This fight's over. This whatever. Oh, you missed. You missed that jump. Oh, bad player. Bad player.
Yeah. I have so many hours in Lucio, still don't know the rollouts.
Honestly, dude,
No, I don't. I don't play Lucio.
I do. And I don't know all the rollouts here. I played Contenders. I played Lucio in Contenders. That's the highest level of play you can get to without being an Overwatch League, and I don't know how to fucking do all the rollouts.
I think there's just like one rollout you need to know, and that's Yizhong Tower.
Lijiang Guarded! You do the swimmer rollout. You get a 3-man boop every time, dude. You get it. You're a Lucio main already.
Mm.
All right, so you do a pretty good job of a few things this round that I want to talk about. That I think you can keep working on. Wait, let's let everybody pick, and then we'll talk about it.
I was actually miffed. You can keep it playing. I was miffed that our second support went Ana.
Yeah,
like they've been playing Mercy the entire time. Like, why are you switching now?
they should be on Mercy or Zen or Brig here. One of those.
Yeah.
Bad. Ana's Ana's like one of, other than like maybe Lucio is just bad pick here, or maybe like Moira's bad pick here. Because it's just like she doesn't provide anything into this matchup. But question I'm gonna ask you: what's your job here? What are you doing on your comp? What are you doing with this team?
I'm keeping my front line. Front line healed up.
Okay, you have
pretty static front line.
Well, I'd like to talk about that for a second. You're on double shield.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably going to take a little less damage. So instead of maybe going 70-30 for heals to damage, maybe you can go 50-50 heals damage.
Okay.
Because your team's going to be taking less damage, right? And this guy shouldn't be on Ana, but he is on Ana. So maybe you can make that more like 60-40 in terms of damage to healing. Just because if you got somebody else to keep your guys alive, then you can do that.
Okay.
Just, things to think about. Like, because of it's not just your tank line, but like your other healer, like, lets you do different things. That's just, you can do some other things because of the fact that you're on a pretty different team comp now. Like, just being a little more, or doing a little more damage, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's a thought exercise I want you to do like every single time. Just because it's like, and like really think about that, like really go in depth with that thought process, because you're gonna learn things that you didn't really think were things you had to think about. So we'll let this roll out for a second. Your Kree is in. He really got that 0% ult charge, or that 6% ult charge in the cost of, peeking an Ashe. So here they have an Ashe. That's cool. All right, we're 15 seconds in. What are you doing?
No, for the other team?
Yeah, what are you trying to do?
The other team? I guess put more pressure on them just by shooting them.
Yep. They're on a Rein Zarya, and you're on a double shield. So you got to poke them before they get to you. Yeah. If they get to you, you probably lose that fight. So you got to do some more damage as they walk to you. Bam. That's it. Okay. That's your job.
Okay.
And then the same question of what's going to kill you, where's it going to kill you from? It's the same thing here. Ashe damage boosted and Doomfist. Actually, I want to start this fight over from the beginning because I want you to notice how good you are. So you know how I was talking about bouncing between heals and damage?
Mm-hmm.
Watch this.
I kept missing those shots though.
No, you can learn to hit shots. Hitting shots is easy. You did a really good job there. That was really, like, seriously, good job.
Thank you. Thank you. That was actually the first thing that Jane showed me when he was like, okay, here's Baptiste. And was that cadence.
Yeah.
So
that
I try to do that as right. I try to do it as much as I can.
That was really, really good. If you did this 100% of the time, you'd be like a god gamer. God gamer.
Thank you.
Like, seriously, good job. And then the one thing I'm gonna mention about that how you missed that on a few times. So I'm gonna give you a small anecdote. So the first time I like seriously played Contenders, I played NA Contenders a little bit before this, but the first time I seriously played Contenders was in Australia. Haha, Australian Contenders, Pepe laugh. But I was playing on 240 ping, and I learned Baptiste for Australian Contenders. And that was one of the most difficult things I've ever done, and it has fucked with me ever since because I don't know how to hit right clicks. Never learned how to do it because I was on ping, so I was like, all right, I'll just shoot at the ground. Because I couldn't hit the right clicks even if I wanted to. And over time, it's taken me like a year to relearn how to shoot right clicks. Because if you try to go for directs as opposed to shooting the ground near somebody, it's going to get worse before it gets better. You're going to miss a lot of heals. You're not going to keep people alive when you could have. But eventually, you're going to hit those. You're going to hit the directs. You're going to keep people alive, and you're going to do a better job than you are right now when you're shooting at the ground. So I'd say go for a lot more directs, try and hit people square on the character model instead of shooting at the ground. And it might suck for a while, but eventually you'll do better.
Okay.
I hope you are writing this down because I've said a lot of things.
Yeah. But I'm also recording. But yes.
That's true. This is bad.
Yep.
Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please. 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 Please.
Am I making you nervous?
Yes. 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 Please don't do this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hey, I didn't die.
You should have like 15 times there, man. Oh my goodness, this scared the hell out of me when I watched this. Oh my goodness, gravy gracious. You know why you should have died. I know why you should have died. Please don't do this. And then she hits you with one little love tap just to remind you that she was there. I like the square. You should maybe be dead here? I don't know. I don't know if your Orisa blocked that on purpose, but I hope so. That Ashe isn't on the right and you paid like no attention to her. And I think somebody calls something and I think you rotate over there and kill her eventually, but yeah.
I see them over there, so I kind of go over there to help because there you go.
Yeah, you keep your McCree alive, and that's good. And then
late lamp.
It's not even a light lamp. Let's talk about what you could have done better this fight. So before you drop, let's pause it right here. So you drop to go save your Kree. I'm gonna ask, why did you drop here?
I think I have a habit of trying to be in the middle of a fight instead of being on the periphery.
That is correct. So you just you dropped there to be closer to the fight.
Yep.
Okay. Then I'm gonna say this to you very simply right now. That's a bad habit, and we're gonna break it. We're gonna keep trying to break it. Because you did that a couple of times on attack, like that time you walked across the entire high ground, and you and your Ryan were like in the enemy flank. That was like I was like, huh, this is a weird place to be right now. This is another good example of it. You could have just thrown this lamp right here, would have reached there in a corner, would have been perfectly fine. But you decided, I need to be closer to this fight. I need to be, I need to be able to shoot this Doomfist right now. And that ended up killing your Kree. And then I think you guys lose this fight if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
So just, you know, you have the control of this high ground. The enemy Ashe is dead. You have nothing to worry about. You are smooth sailing. No one can push you up here. You know where the Doom is. The tank line is on the low ground. You're fine. Everything is fine. No reason to get close. Like, you're fine. This Ana's fucking this Ana's playing fucking Escape from Tarkov right now. Like this is a Tarkov angle. This isn't a fucking Overwatch angle. But yeah, like, you're fine. Not every lamp needs to be the god lamp that lives for the entire duration. Sometimes a good lamp is just a lamp that saves somebody for 2 seconds. That lamp was slow and bad. I'll talk about that another time. Let me write that down so I remember.
Which part?
You just kind of walked across this area and let the Ashe shoot at you, and you didn't like try to dodge or anything.
Okay.
But I actually have a whole movement workshop that we can do together at some point. We'll go into a custom game and we'll like do 1v1s for a while, and I'll show you like how to do good movement and then how to hit that kind of movement. So I would say don't worry about that for now, because we'll do that together. Yeah, it was just like the Ashe was kind of taking pot shots at you and you were like still going. So yeah, you guys lose this fight partially because of you. It was you this time.
Mm-hmm.
I like how your Orisa's still walking up like, it's okay, guys, we can take this fight. It's a winnable, winnable.
Well, they change it so you get fast spawn.
Yeah. What a sneaky little snake.
Who, the Lucio?
No, the Doomfist.
Oh, yeah.
The enemy team barely even capped, and he was fucking in, dude. Good square. The enemy team have nowhere to run except hide around those corners, and hiding around those corners, they take poke damage. I like this. I don't think your team should be here in the first place, but I think you guys do go high ground later on. You were caught in this graph because of your habit to be close to a fight. And I think you guys win this fight. Yeah, you do, but... Quick question. Did you think about the Ashe being dead when you jumped up here, or did you just jump up here?
Nope. I just jumped up there.
That's
so
fine.
jumping up there when the Ashe is still alive is a bad idea.
Yeah, because it's just like, any of the places she wants to peek from, she can see you, so... It's also just like checking where your head is at, because like there's a lot of stuff going on in a fight. Like people don't think about this, but like Overwatch is a hard game. Like being good at this game is incredibly difficult because there's a really high tempo to everything, and really small mistakes get you into bad positions. So yeah, you guys do finally try to go up to this high ground. I think you do get a fight up there, but. You try to juggle it a little here, and that's fine, but... You do have a habit of lamping a little early, but it's like... I would honestly rather have early lamps than late lamps, right now, at least.
When I was first learning, I would just die with my lamp, like, all the time. And so I tried to start pushing it out a little farther. Probably went a little too far. Plus, my mindset here is that the fight's already over. We've won this.
100.
And so may as well throw it out. Yeah, that I remember this part. Yeah,
I got you. Like that's honestly a good thought process to have. So don't worry about that. I was just that's just nitpicking way too close. If you had a lower sense, you would have killed her.
I don't know what my Orisa's doing out there.
She's doing her best, all right, man.
Silly horse.
Silly horse. What is this guy doing here? Why is he... Whatever.
He duped. You got him.
Like, what is this Doomfist trying to do? Also, yeah, you've been like 100 HP for like 20 seconds. Wait, don't you guys lose this fight? No,
Nope.
you win this fight.
We lose in like the.
Yeah, I think you guys win the next and then lose in like a fight from now.
No, I think we lose the next one. Yeah, because they have Grav, and yeah. So we won that one. We have 4 ultimates, maybe 5, and we're gonna lose.
It happens. Like literally, yeah, that happens.
Oh no, yeah, I think he's like a 6-man Grav, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Also, you messaged to me that your lamp lost this game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to deconstruct that because I don't think that's 100% accurate. So.
Okay.
And I don't think that thought process is very good. Of if I just made this play, we would have won. Because it's like I said earlier, if you have to make a clutch play in order to win a fight or win a game, you're probably not in a good position to start.
Yeah. I think it was just more. I was super frustrated that I thought we were gonna actually win this.
Yeah. That makes sense. So I will say right now, I think your Orisa's an idiot. You guys should be like, if your Orisa wants to hold low ground, she should be like maybe here-ish, and then you should be like all the way back here. Because as it stands right now, you are in the middle of the open. Your Orisa is shielding fucking nothing. Like, even if they came from that way, why would you hold this close? And I mean you as in terms of your entire team and your tank line, not just you. You don't mind controlling Orisa. That'd be pretty fucking cool though. Like, even if the enemy team is coming in main from here, like, why would you hold here? Because the distance for them to travel is so short. If you guys hold all the way back here, they have to get to point, and then they're exposed on point. Right now, they just walk to you, and then if they take that fight, they kill you, and then they're on point for free. But if you guys play all the way back here and you poke them as they're walking to you, they're already down resources, and then you win that fight. That was like really nitpicky, and honestly, fucking Kraken Roll should pay me for coaching. Fuck that guy. Bad Orisa player. Yeah, they give up that space. It's interesting how like your team they walk away because you guys use ults up there, and your team just stays there. Like I actually like this play, and they don't have the Ashe anymore, so honestly, this is pretty safe. Other than like maybe the Mei sniping you, maybe this is pretty okay. And your team is, and like I don't know. It's just.
I know.
Is this the lamp? No. Yeah. Another.
Well, that's the lamp that I pulled after the slam, and then they can grab.
I mean, that was a needed lamp. This was a needed lamp. If you did not lamp here, your Ana dies, and then your soldier dies, and then your Orisa dies, and the entire team dies. Them having superior ult economy is not your fault. The way you guys needed to win this game was to make some very complicated team plays around baiting out specific ultimates at specific times and then using specific cooldowns to deal with that. That's not your fault at all.
Oh my gosh, you talking like that? I'm like, no one ever thinks like that in Platinum at all. Why didn't the shooty people not shoot the other people faster?
Yeah,
that's the mentality. And I mean, I really want to get to that mindset of using my renewables to bait out their cooldowns and then so on. But it's all I'm saying is it's funny hearing you say stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. That's honestly, it's like that's why I like looking at scrim VODs mostly, but also like not everybody scrims, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We're working with this, and all I'm trying to say is, you losing this team fight, your team losing this team fight was not your fault. In order to win this fight, you would need to make a very complicated series of team plays that just didn't happen. So don't worry about it. This was a good lamp. Honestly, I think this is a fucking rad lamp. If it was like 2 inches to the right, it'd be the greatest lamp, because then the enemy team wouldn't be able to see it at all. Other than that Ana, but the Ana shielded off. Like, don't blame yourself for this.
Wait, they don't have an Ana. That's it. Oh, Anna, never mind. Said Ash.
They're on it all the way. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're on
yeah,
it
yeah.
all the way. Yeah, but like seriously, don't blame yourself for this. You were given a situation and you made the best play that you could make in that situation. And honestly, it was a pretty good goddamn play. Don't blame yourself. You getting too close to the scrab otherwise, blame yourself for that. That was fucking stupid.
Okay.
Because what you could have done, maybe, is if you were far enough away from this grab, or like maybe closer to your spawn room, you could have squared and then shot through the square and kept everybody alive, but that's one of those like edge cases. You still should have tried for it. Don't blame yourself for the lamp. Blame yourself for the play you made afterward.
Okay.
And then you guys lose that. But still, like, it's really great to watch you play, actually, because you have issues and they're all fixable. There's nothing that's like, I gotta dig deep into your personal trauma that fundamentally affects the way that you act and play as a human being on planet Earth. It's just like, you need to be careful of these things and you need to watch out for this. Like, I don't have to be your therapist in addition to your coach. Holy shit, dude. I've worked with some people, man.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so people start to zone out after around the hour mark, so I would like to do a little bit of a wrap up if that's okay with you.
Yep.
So you probably do have a fair few questions, or not necessarily questions, but just like, is there anything that you want me to talk about more and explain more that I didn't do a good job of conveying?
No, I don't. I think you did a good job of conveying everything.
Awesome.
And so to me, kind of study this and kind of start going to a mental checklist when I go into games. That's gonna be my big thing I got to work on. Is that part? Looking at my notes.
Before you go into depth to that, then my next question. This is what my therapist asks me at the end of every session, and I've taken that from her actually. What are you taking out of here today? What is the biggest lessons that you, not what you think I wanted you to learn, but that you personally have learned?
Well, okay, so the questions at the beginning of each round, the 3 of them, was there 4 or was there 3?
It's like 3.5 of like, what are you doing for your team?
Yeah, what's my job with this team? Kind of, what am I trying to do to the enemy team? What is going to kill me from the other team? What's the half question?
And then how is that thing gonna do it?
Oh,
like, because sometimes it's a specific cooldown that'll do it. So when you know that cooldown's down, you don't have to worry about it. That kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's those 3.5, 4 questions. I think those are really important.
And then the other thing was don't get too close to your teammates. Is the kind of the bigger one. Another bigger one that I'll keep working on. Yeah. Like discrete positioning, that kind of thing.
Cool. That's good to know. I think that if you work on those things and play more safely than you have been and everything, it's not just that you will live longer and therefore win more games, but it also gives you more time in a match to work things out because you're not dead. It gives you more time to like work on things and have better aim between fights and everything and that kind of stuff. So that's a very good building block to work with. I'd also write down, just so you remember, I would experiment with your sensitivity like before our next session. I just fuck around with it, see what works. Awesome. I love that. God, you're so receptive. Holy shit, this is amazing.
Well, I'm good. I'm glad I'm a good student.